Welcome to Always Analog, where we celebrate the beauty of analog technology in the digital world. And today we have a ballpoint pen review, and this one is for the Monami 153 blue ballpoint pen. And a shout out and big thank you to my pencil pal Mike, who sent this to me along with some others, which I put on the list to review. But the Mike, I appreciate this. This is a pen that not only I did not have, I'd never heard of. So thank you for sending it my way. Not sure where Mike got this. He didn't mention it in his note, but let's take a look at it. So this is again, the brand is Monami. The model is a 153. You can see it says 1.0. We assume, and I think correctly, that refers to the point, the ball point, which would make it a medium. It is a locking retractable. So it has the plunger, and then it has your release as well. Okay, so it is in classic pencil yellow color. It's the barrel is even hexagonal, akin to a pencil. On the back side, we have a barcode, the word blue, and we have here a product number, I'm assuming, and then made in Korea. I would say this, I believe, is in terms of pens, this might be the first time I have reviewed a pen from made in Korea that I'm aware of, or that I can remember. Let's put it like that. So anyways, we have, again, a hexagonal barrel. Let me do a top down so you can see the barrel. And then it connects to a smooth sort of taper bullet tip here. And I'm going to unscrew this so we can see what goes on inside. Very typical and traditional ink tube with spring. There are some markings here on this ink tube. One of them says 1.0. I'm not sure what the other symbols are. Frankly, I just cannot make them out, and I don't know that they are in writing that I understand. Maybe in Korean, I don't know, but I do see 1.0. So there is our standard tip there. So you might say that this pen could be refillable if you had access to ink tubes akin to that. Again, retractable. One thing this pen doesn't have is a clip. There's no pocket clip on this pen, which may or may not mean anything, but that so many of these kind of these type of pens usually have a pocket clip built in, but this one does not, and that's okay. Actually makes it more pencil-like in some ways. So we're going to get writing with it. Okay, here we go with our Monami 153 blue ballpoint pen, and we're going to, I don't always remember, actually I often don't remember to point out what I'm writing on. In this case, just a yellow legal pad, Docket Gold by Topps. This is, I think, one of my favorite legal pads out there for pen or pencil, for that matter. It's a nice, very nicely weighted paper, and I like it. So, all right, here we go. Let's get it started. So, you know how life sometimes, often actually, and the older I get, the more I find this to be the case, something always reminds me of something else. So what I like to try to do is to do a little bit of comparison with other things. So here's the Monami 153. By the way, a very smooth writing pen. I want to note that. Very, very smooth. And nice writing and comfortable to hold. Maybe it's the locking retractable, but you know what? I couldn't help but be reminded of the Bic M10 here for comparison's sake, because the Bic M10 is another locking retractable pen. Now, it does have a pocket clip, as it does, but also, while it doesn't have the hexagonal barrel, it does, on the writing end, on the business end, it does sort of come and has this sort of tapered point to it. And so I want to just put this down and so we can kind of look at the ink color. together. And then it's a different pen entirely, but here is the classic Crystal. By the way, 1.0, 1.0. So we're dealing with the same tips here. Look at these ink colors, and I think you will find very subtle differences from the Monami and the Bics. Very, very similar. I like this pen. Thank you, Mike, for sending this to me. This is going to go right in my pen cup to use. I like this one. And again, it's just fun to try a Korean-made pen. I don't know anything about the Monami, or Monami, almost to say it French, but it's a nice little pen. I'm getting the impression this is probably a fairly inexpensive pen, just like the M10 is, or the Crystal for that matter, but comfortable, and I love that it's sort of similar to a pencil in its appearance, and yeah, it's a nice little writing pen. Thank you for sharing with me, and I thank all of you for hanging out with me as I reviewed this Ballpoint pen. Again, oil-based kind of traditional ink. These are the pens that I like, really the only ones that I use, and I appreciate, again, Mike, sending this to me along with the others. Please share, like, subscribe, and I'll see you again here real soon on Always Analog.